Okay, it's on.
Okay, so June 13th, Facilities Committee meeting. Present Mike Wolf, Jeff Scott, Tamara Twardowski, and from the school, Mr. Harris, Mr. Blankviller, Mr. can't think of Schmidt. I'm like George, Mr. Schmidt, and Principal Aaron. Help me. I'm sorry, I'm totally drawing blanks with the last names tonight.
The manly truck man.
Oh, and also Mr. Small. So,
Did I not get one?
You don't need it unless you want it. I'll give you one.
That's all right.
it's on the roof. Do you want to know about the roof?
He needs it for the gym, right?
Oh, okay.
It's for the gym. It's over his.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So, okay. So, Casey, I'll let you start.
All right. First item on the agenda is E. Barnett Eagle Scout project. George, you can jump in any time if I'm missing something here.
Got it.
George has been in contact with this student. The scope of work is to build 5 outside picnic tables at the football stadium. Install 3/8 redstone between the snack shop and the restroom facilities where it's currently mulched. Install landscape fabric with staples. Install a 6x6 timber transition between the pavers to the picnic area with gravel. Then pressure wash the decking, stain, seal the railing, deck, and everything. I guess we just need approval from the board for this project for his Eagle Scout project. They are providing all the materials like Scott Potts' son that built the benches and dug out the benches at the middle school. This is in the stadium, so I definitely want to bring this to your guys' attention because it's going to be added maintenance for us with the picnic tables and stuff down the road, the stone and everything else. So the benches in the trail, if they fail and we don't want to replace them, we just put some dirt down and some seed and we're done. You know, it's not a whole lot of expense. So their total estimated cost of materials is about $2,500. Monty's Mulch is going to give them a discount. And George, you can explain kind of a little bit more of the cost and what conversation you had with them.
Well, Ace Moore
80 more.
is probably going to give them a better price. You know, that was their regular price they'd get there. So, out of the $2,500, I think it's going to be cut in half. You know, and they have to raise the money, or we have to find private donors. Nothing's going to be laid on the board at all on the school district at this point.
And you're okay with what they're proposing to do?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it will be a nice use of the space where they want to do this. I think it'll be a definite advantage to the fans at the stadium. It's just a matter of just a little bit of spraying some weeds for us. Down the road. Hopefully the weed fabric lasts for a long time. We don't have to worry about it. And we'll assist as we did with Scott Potts' son. To move whatever we need to move and stuff like that. But it's a no cost to the school district for this. So.
And this is right next to the snack shack or in that space?
Between the snack shack and the bathrooms where the mulch is now. So we can either leave the mulch there and put the picnic tables there, and put the stone there, or remove the mulch and install stone. I would say we can probably leave the mulch there and just maintain it that way, and that way we don't have to worry about the stone either. It's a less cost for the kid as well, to raise those funds. So
It's a shame. I just saw one of the Daniel Boone their yard sale site. Somebody was getting rid of stone, and they just wanted it removed.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah,
It was a lot. I mean, it was. I don't know how. It was nice
What
stone
kind of
too.
stone? Was it decorative stone?
Yeah, it was the tumbled, like it was nice, the soft. It wasn't the
red.
The big
hard,
stuff.
yeah, it wasn't defined. It was small pebbles, but they were rounded. They were
round.
yeah, yeah, like that, but not as big. They were small, but they had like, gosh, they had a ton of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, several times probably. But somebody took it. That would have been nice if we knew. That's one of the things. I mean, I don't know where we can. I see that kind of stuff all the time. Like we should, like if the Boy Scouts are going to do a project for us, maybe we could advertise for them on the website, saying we're looking for materials, and that might help them, and which helps us, and 'cause that would have been free,
Right.
you know.
That's true. If you know ahead of time, you can always put out that they're doing a project and they're looking for
That's what I
X,
mean.
Y, and Z. And if anybody has it, you know, to reach out, and maybe, or somebody might actually be willing to throw $100
Yeah.
in or something.
Yeah.
You know, if we do put it on the website, it's not a bad idea.
And then there's an additional student, correct, George? For the Eagle Scout, another
Project?
project?
No, it's not an Eagle Scout project. This would be a me project.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Am I allowed to do projects?
I
Okay.
don't see why not.
When I got here last fall, I looked at the restroom and decided that that is the most ugliest building I've ever seen. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. All right,
At the stadium?
at the stadium, if you can imagine how that looks from the front, it's all siding. That's it. All right, so what I'd like to do is remove the first couple rows of siding. This is all something I've been doing for 32 years, so it's nothing it's hard to do. And build a little hip roof just at the top. Okay, where the roof comes down and then the siding all the way down to the railing. I should have brought pictures, but I didn't. I can send them to you if you'd like. Build a little soffit roof, put in 4 soffit lights that we can run off the switch in the bathroom for the outside lights. And then Mrs. Schreiner, who's the art teacher, she's already okayed this last fall, that the kids are gonna do on half-inch signboard, which is board that you can paint on and it stays, it's outside stuff. And they're gonna do a mural. I don't know what the mural's gonna be at. It'll be Blazers, it'll be every sporting, character that we have would be on that mural. And then we would just attach it to the siding. The lights would be up there. So that would be something that I would take care of personally.
Is it just going to be
Materials
sports?
and everything.
Just sports? Or when it,
Band?
all the different groups? that
Well,
use
it could be band too. That's a good idea. I mean, it could be anything that's involved in the stadium. Sorry, I'm a little sports oriented.
All right.
He's a little band oriented, so.
That's cool. Hey,
How many kids
it's
in
about
band?
everybody. So
It was your life for a lot of years, wasn't it?
I mean, I don't know that I have any issues with it. I just,
Casey, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
just because of my background, I would just make sure, just make sure the township doesn't have an issue with anything you're gonna do.
Right.
Because
We have to make sure with that.
if they want an electrical permit, get an electrical, you know what I mean? Because we don't need them coming in and, this,
And you guys would need to approve the mural as
right,
well.
Right.
yeah. I mean, I don't have an issue with it. I just,
They'll throw up a bunch of prototypes, I'm
Right.
sure.
there was a lot of tension between the municipality and the school district with that whole stadium project, so I just want to make sure that,
There still is tension there.
right, so I just want to make sure that they don't drive by and be like, what's going on down there?
This is a one-day project
It'll be that day.
for me.
Just telling you how this works.
We don't have to approve a mural, do we? The board does?
The
Yeah.
band truck has a mural on it with like figures, and the board had to approve that.
Really?
Yeah.
All the murals that are painted
They
in
asked
high
them to
school
be
are approved.
Well,
If
it
it's
came
on our
through
property,
all
you
at
have to-
once, and yeah.
I think even the
No, I'm with
murals
you, I'm
painted
just saying.
in the,
Yeah,
the
it's not
cafeteria.
supervised by the binder, the ones that seem so want to read it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think both ideas are good ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we would recommend that to the board and ask for full board
Thank you.
approval. Sure.
I got a question, have we attempted to get more advertising in the high school
Yes.
stadium?
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on that now with, we were sending notes back and forth. looking at scoreboards and advertising and working with local businesses here. One of the things here, a lot of our local businesses aren't local.
Right.
Like Kiwi, they're Johnson, Johnson, whatever. But American Crane, we're thinking meeting with American Crane. So they
That
were,
could be an advantage.
but they were very interested. Well, if they're not local, if their local ownership isn't here, it makes it harder for them to pull the trigger on funding and financing and advertising.
But I would think the dollar amount would be much more palatable for a national organization than a mom and pop shop.
It's just a matter of getting through to the people who can make decisions. If they just have a warehouse distribution center here,
Yeah.
it's not much. But American Crane was really interested. They seemed surprised. They said no one's ever reached out to them before.
See?
So I'm like, hey, I try past you 10 times a day. And so we're going to meet sometime next week looking at scoreboard and some advertising. So the one that I priced out was a little bit too high, but we can build a school for that now. But we're looking at some.
You asking for a dream one.
We used to actually have a revenue enhancement committee, and we kind of worked on that for a couple of years off and on. I think Monica Hamill, and then I came back on, and we did try to do some advertising. We've had a lot of turnover, should I say, I guess, in the athletic director, facilitator department, and they were kind of spearheading that in the beginning, and then it kind of fell by the wayside when we lost Tom Lagath and we didn't replace him. We had changed Michelle Goss's position, and we had to go down a position. So it just kind of, it was something that nobody was really able to take the lead on. And then we did talk to a company that does it, and they never, and we even signed an agreement with them, and they never really moved anything. I will tell you, you might want to reach out to, if you haven't, Reading Orthodontics was at one time going to do, was looking to do something with on the announcing booth or something, and I think the outside company was trying to work a deal with them, and it just didn't seem like for what they were getting that we were getting very much. You know what I mean? And it was like a 3-year deal or something. I think we were getting like $2,000 or so. I don't know. It was so, but they might be interested in
We'll
doing
take care of
it.
it. We got this.
So,
That's what I said.
so okay. So Eagle Scout. I guess do we have to take both those things in front of the full board? Or
Yeah, we just get the
can our?
approval,
All right.
just make it an
I can bring it up tonight.
agenda item. The completion date for the Eagle Scout project, I don't even know.
It should be end
That'll
of
be done
August.
before,
End of
before,
August.
yeah, before football season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with the other project.
Okay. Okay. So JROTC obstacle course.
JROTC obstacle course. Mr. Helzer approached me the other day about making a legit ROTC obstacle course. They're working on the plans for it. There was a grant, I believe, through Mrs. Bukowski, through Shelley, that there was some funds left over. I think they purchased the materials already, tentatively, so they have that purchase there. And if they need to change the materials, they're just going to return the materials and just reallocate those funds for the materials for the course. The course would be in the upper grass field where the trail goes through to what they call Turtle Land, I believe. That's what they call it, up in the upper part of the property. So there's going to be multiple discussions about this on the layout and everything. I just want to make everybody aware that instead of them losing that grant money, they have purchased some items for that, so they have a credit. And I guess Home Depot or Lowe's already agreed with them that they would take any of that material back at any point in time, because they understood what was going on, and I guess they gave a reduced price or whatever as well. So it all kind of happened really quick. Like when the idea came up, I think, Aaron, if I'm not mistaken, it was 4 days later the grant ran out or something like that. It was so they kind of ran with it pretty quick. But nothing's getting installed yet. Nothing's designed yet. They have a basic idea. So you'll be hearing more about it.
Okay. And what do you consider the upper part? Is that like back by
If
the,
you're in the stadium
oh, the, okay.
and you're looking on the visitor side, that upper grass area and that upper
Okay.
left corner towards.
That's where they throw the
Farmers
javelins.
for sale. Huh?
That's where they throw the javelins and things like that,
Is that
right?
where they throw
The
javelin?
football field's up there, practice field.
Yeah, but, yeah, the upper, that upper, that
To the
upper,
left.
upper corner. And
Okay.
we use the woods area in the back of the trail is to dump the brush and that kind of stuff. So we would just have to go in and kind of clean some of the brush back a little bit. And, but that's just, I just wanted to let everybody know that you're gonna be hearing more about that as,
He mentioned that he's thinking of a rappelling tower.
he had mentioned that, and that's gonna be,
I'm thinking of the insurance.
Yeah.
part and currently, tie off some harnesses.
yeah, the only thing he purchased so far would be for like the logs to run across the logs or to crawl under and that kind of stuff. But he bought nothing for the tower, and that would have, of course, have to be enclosed, and you're talking insurance regulations, and that becomes very costly.
I would think anything over a certain height,
Correct.
I mean, whether you climb over it or rappel down or whatever.
Yeah.
The whole concept of that pass by our insurance.
I was gonna, that was gonna be my next question.
Yeah, so that's why I said this is just discussion,
Like, and
just
do they
to
have to
make
sign waivers?
everyone aware.
Plus the mortars and the,
What's that?
the electrical, electrified water pits and stuff, those can get.
Well, I did ask him if he's gonna have one of those, one where you swing across, and there's like a big muddy pond or something there,
Yeah.
that you when you see these videos, somebody always falls in. Yeah. It's like-
Okay.
Before you go any farther, back to the concession area repairs, are we doing anything with the securing the door on the main concession stand that's been broken into?
Yeah, we'll be replacing that shortly. We're gonna try to look at, my hardware vendor's gonna come down, and we're gonna try to figure out another way of securing those doors. Right now the padlock's on it, but we're gonna need to put some realistic doors in there, not what's currently there. So, I forgot how bad it was until during the week of graduation, I went, keep forgetting about this. So,
What's in there?
Lots of expensive equipment.
yeah, all the concession stuff's in there. There's,
Hot dog rollers,
Yeah.
popcorn machines, refrigerators, freezers,
Freezers.
deep fryers.
yeah,
I don't know, I'm sorry, no deep fryers.
no deep fryers, but there's ovens, some type
Yeah,
of oven in there
ovens.
to keep the food warm and that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, the kids broke out the windows a couple of years ago, crawled in there, did some damage, and they, I don't know how they got the doors, ripped the doors off, and got in there, and
We put cameras on there too?
Yeah, that's the only, like, the closest camera to that area is above the main entrance. It looks at that concession stand at a distance, so you're looking at about 85 to 100 yards away. So I was
See,
right
what's less
outside.
expensive,
you'd be
a
better off with motion lights.
Yeah.
unbreakable door or
Yeah,
a?
if lights went on, we might have been able to see them, but I mean, we might have saw
Even
a
there,
flicker
it's
in the
hard.
dark.
Yeah,
Even there, it's hard,
You
they
wouldn't
just
be able
climb
to
that
focus.
wall and they're protected.
Yeah.
Now, cameras for the stadium is like 16, I have the quote up in my office, it's like $16,000.
Yeah, but last time I checked, those doors are like $7,000 a door or whatever it was in the high school. That
That's
seems
for-
like it's cheap. Right?
You have a point.
I'm just saying, like, if you want the door that you can't break into, that's gonna be, right? I don't know.
Or at least so when they do break it, we can catch them and then they can pay for it.
Right,
Yeah, right?
right.
It's only vinyl siding, pull the siding
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I
Good
know,
sharp
they can
knife
go right
will-
through a window too.
Good sharp knife will be through that in a heartbeat. The next item is the roof. Now, we're gonna need some type of a decision, either yes or no, on this. Sensitive Roofing was the contractor that Tremco brought in through KPN to look at it. The Worco Group was also brought in to get additional pricing. Their pricing was higher than Sensitive. When it comes to the labor side of things, they felt it was going to take more hours to do the project. Sensitive Roofing has penciled in a timeline for us to try to get this done before school starts. So if you remember, the price before was $541,000. The new price is $535,000. Now, there's two items, and one item was added on that, and one item was deducted. The item that was added was the lightning protection to the overall base bid. The reduction then was the mechanical fastening of the insulation on the gym roof instead of gluing it. So the labor and material savings to mechanically fasten the gym was then deducted, and that's where the $535,000 comes to. So the $535,000 is everything, including the lightning protection. So if we were to deduct the roof area over the wrestling room, which is currently not leaking, that is covered under our warranty till next year, if it does start to leak. But that just has wrestling mats in there, it's not like a wood floor or anything that's gonna warp or get ruined. The deduct for that is $46,782.51. And then if you wanted to eliminate the lightning protection on those areas of the roof, that's an additional $14,558.37. So
That's the only.
it's the only
part
building
in the whole building.
in the whole school district that has protection. And I know lightning protection was a hot item 20 years ago.
So where's it fun? Where's the crack?
There's 4 spots where the wiring comes down through the building, and there's a grounding rod somewhere on the side of the buildings. So I forgot to add this up. So just let me look at the calendar. So if we only eliminate the wrestling room, the total comes to $488,631.39. And then if we deduct the lightning protection on top of that, it's $474,073.02. There again, when it rained this last week, George will attest to it because he sent me an email, the gym roof was leaking again and was running down the walls of the gym. So, like I said, Sensenig has a block of time open for us. They need to know this week if we're doing the roof or not. Because if not, they're going to fill that spot with another job.
Now, question, is the price you quoted for the total job?
Yep.
Take away hauling, there's
Everything.
nothing else, if Lauren cuts a check for whatever amount,
$74,000, 73.
not gonna have to come back and say, I need another 10 grand because of whatever.
The only way that would happen is if they would find some type of damage along the roof flashing, because they're going to reuse a lot of the drip edge, because it's a solid welded aluminum drip edge. So they've thrown money into the project to replace some of that, because they see some of it has already bent from repairs from before. Whoever did the repairs. But this is a turnkey project.
So it's really 473 or add 46,000 to do the wrestling area. And its warranty expires next year.
The maintenance warranty for leaks expires May of 2017. That roof has not had, that wrestling room has not had any leaks. That would be that's the only savings that's available in that area. And the reason we included with this project was you have the upper gym roof, the access to the lower wrestling room is from the upper gym roof. So we just figured, okay, let's make it in the whole project. But the question was, where can we save some money? That's really the only spot that we can save.
Lots. I mean, do you have any concerns of not doing that roof?
I know the roof has to be done because when I first got here, we had to move basketball games because it was
Oh.
raining.
Oh, yeah, not that roof. I meant the
Yeah, I
wrestling
think
room roof.
Everything else is, I mean, for myself, I think we should move on it.
Oh,
The only
definitely.
question is, do you include the wrestling?
Right.
Well, it's under warranty now for one more year. Are we have to get back up there and sit through the same meeting next year saying we have 6 weeks before the warranty expires? Or do
Well,
we
that's
just
what I mean.
knock
They
it
just
out
do
at
it
one
now.
time?
More importantly, to do that roof, they would have to walk on the brand new roof.
No,
they put on
they
top.
wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They could access that from lifts and whatnot to get up there.
But that's going to increase the cost, is it not?
Correct. And
I
that's-
mean, you can do it for $46,000 now, or probably $60,000. You know.
Right. And I've talked to Tremco numerous times on where we can try to save, and the mechanical fastening on the gym roof was one spot for sure, because there's minimal conduits up in the flutes of the decking. The hallways we can't mechanically fasten because there's too many communication cables, phone lines, electric lines. Everything is run through the fluting above the beams. So.
Well, and realistically, this is going to be done in July, right? So, most likely, or early August. So you're losing 8 months of a warranty. Technically, I mean,
And they'll
really.
give us credit for that area. They'll credit us that small amount of area on the warranty. It'll be a couple bucks a week, anything
Right.
substantial. So
I mean,
maybe I can swap the wrestling room with the credit and maybe get an extra year out of it. I don't know. I haven't had that conversation.
I think it almost makes sense to just do it, get it done with, and not have to revisit it
Like,
next
'cause you're
year.
gonna be working up there in phases over the next couple of years. Might as well finish one thing.
Right. It's like that area is done then for 20 years,
Finish one
and we
thing.
don't have
So
to
are we
revisit.
getting the floors done too?
The gym floors? Yep.
Well, yeah, this is, I
That's
think
the
we're all in
biggest chunk.
agreement, yeah, we think we're in agreement that the main roof is gotta get done. It's just a small section of over the wrestling room that you're talking about.
If you have them do the whole thing, then you're sort of responsible for the whole thing.
Right.
Instead of back and forth,
Right.
well, you did this and you did
Right.
this.
The conversation
Stepped on
I
this
had
one.
with them,
Completely agree.
if you save 46 now, it's probably going to cost you 60 or more next year to do it, or 2 years to do it, just because
Plus
of,
without
Because then
access.
you're treating it as one job versus part of another. I mean, you have all that other.
Lauren, do we have the money?
We'd be utilizing our entire capital funds balance.
And
Well,
a
but
vent for the
regardless of
wrestling room.
46, we're pretty much
Vent over the
utilizing.
wrestling
Right.
room would be very
No,
helpful.
that's where
What
we
you're
got,
saying.
either way.
And this $500,000 is saving us the cost of replacing the roof, which was like $2
we're not
million.
fully tearing off, correct. We're doing 1.5 inch insulation on top of, they're going to remove the stone, fasten 1.5 inch of insulation on top of that, and then roof on top of that.
Are we okay with recommending? I'm okay with recommending the 535 minus the lightning protection. I don't really
Yeah, I don't
understand the lightning protection thing, but
I mean, it's not a component to the whole building, so you're only protecting a small piece, and I don't really know what.
What does it even do?
I would say, what's it supposed to do?
Lightning.
Don't you have insurance for that
Yeah.
already?
I would think.
Because if it hits your mechanicals,
And
that
that's the
lightning
only-
protection doesn't help.
And that's the only part of the building that has it, the annex does not.
I don't.
Okay.
I would deduct that. So I mean, we can make that recommendation to the board. I mean,
How are we gonna make that?
that the finance committee recommends that we do the project as described with the deduction of taking the second deduct of the lightning.
But do we have to go back and get the estimate for the other part of the roof?
That's this 46,000. It's included in the 535. So it would be 535 minus the 14.
If I did my math correctly, it's 520, 858, 53 cents.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
520,858, 53 cents.
Casey, is there any negotiating that?
It's all pre-bid. It's all through KPN. So it's pre-bid markups, pre-bid costs, and then they work more or less open books with KPN. That's actually run by the CSIU.
And you said it was like $10 a square foot basically.
Yeah.
So if they get approval this week, that completion date will be before the start of school.
That if weather holds out, their intent is to be done before school.
Well, realistically, the board can't vote on it.
Technically tonight, right?
You know,
They
I'm
can't.
not gonna put $500,000
Right.
on a
Right,
special vote.
that's the problem. It can't really technically get voted on until next week, or 2 weeks, or
27.
3 weeks, whatever it
2
is,
weeks.
2 weeks.
The other piece, I'd like to have them give you the contract immediately that we can pass by our solicitor for
And
review.
that's exactly what they want to do. They want to get the ball rolling. So I mean, if
They give you the
if
contract
you guys
this week,
can
we'll
discuss
send it on.
in executive session and
Uh,
have
Well, we can discuss it tonight,
Yes.
and we'll have a facilities report, and I can recommend it and state that the committee recommended it, and we can get the contract and everything lined up, but
and then it gets voted. But I mean, if you guys can kind of, not that I need a yay or a nay, but I need some kind of
You need a
assurance
consensus.
that if we need to do it.
Yeah, we need to see
It's-
if we have support for it.
Yeah.
right.
Right.
We'll do what we can.
We have 3, but I won't be here at the end of the month to vote.
Oh.
Well, at
Okay.
least I'm not planning to.
And call
Calling
it.
for one vote.
Calling from there is sketchy at best.
Where are you going?
So,
Oh, yeah.
Noble?
Just get up on the Ferris wheel and tell them to hold you at the top for a few minutes.
yeah, once you get down the valley.
Right at the top of the Phoenix.
Maybe we could move the meeting. We could all go to Canova.
And you all,
There
I
you
like
go.
that
you can
idea.
all drive 2 hours.
I like that idea. I'm game.
I'll go for a funnel cake.
Hey,
I like the pickles on the
Says it right there.
there you go.
All right, so
Mike wishes he had the
Those are good too.
he's like, I want to get away from you people. All right, so I guess we're on to the card access and
Well,
door
the
replacement.
card access is another expensive item. We went through the whole project again since the last meeting. Scott's security system has failed for the IT office, so he currently has no security for the IT office at all.
Right, say that one too.
So the thought was to add the IT room to the original proposal, and we had to change around the hardware for Monocacy. So there was an adder for some things we had to do there just by the way the windows and doors are made. So the access price has gone up about, I think it's about $10,000, $9,000, $167,632. And there's another one that to get this done during the summer, we're gonna need a commitment from the board here in the very near future, because we need to order equipment, and we probably won't get it all in before school starts at all buildings, just because of timing. We're looking.
This is separate from the whole lock. The lock
This is separate, yes.
right? This is just the
This is just a key card access.
key
for
card
all the schools.
access, the computer program that allows you to
But it
control
also-
it.
It's integrated with this
With the new
thing for Scott,
copiers.
with the copiers and everything.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
So it's,
It's not, and it has nothing to do with the cameras or anything either.
No.
It's separate too. Hey, Warren, did you build in any of these things, like, did you put any placeholders in the budget, the current budget that sits?
After the big ticket item.
No, okay.
No, the only thing that's in the budget right now is a $150,000 transfer to capital. The way the budget is built right now. So, in addition to the $500,000 that I have earmarked for capital, there's $150 in the 16-17 budget down the bottom, which is a transfer to capital. So really your capital fund right now is $650.
But for next year, isn't $500,000 earmarked to go into capital?
not at this point. We
So
had
we-
discussed in finance of doing a $500,000 last fall.
So we have $500,000 and that's it.
We
That's
have
the roof.
$500,000
Right,
in
right.
place right now. But budgeted transfer is 150 for the 16-17 year.
Right, so we have $650,000 and the roof's 500 and change, right?
520.
So we're done.
That's it. That's what I'm leading to. That there.
130,000.
For
That's it.
16-17.
That's it. The roof is it. The roof's the project. And then there's some small jobs along the way,
That's fine.
but the roof is it. So then the rest would have to be built into
The
the
next-
3,
the next-
4, 5-year
I mean,
plan.
like some of the stuff, like the doors, they have to be done, right?
No. I mean, the doors are, I mean,
They do, some of them,
Some
they
of
don't even
them
lock
don't
or
lock.
shut, right?
Two of them currently we cannot lock.
which one? The inside door or
A3 and
external?
A4, they're two classroom
What's in the
walls.
stairwell?
And then the
The old
custodials.
gentle lock. The stairwells have never truly locked, which you
Yeah.
don't want the stairwells locked because of
Fire.
That's all right.
escaping a fire.
You don't lock
And
the
that's one we
stairwells.
can just not do. The middle school gym doors is another one that, you know, we could make a. I
Yeah, you
could
said
get
they
a-
were cheap or something,
I
they
could
were.
get a sleeve made for it and do some things with some hardware and stuff like that, you know, but I mean, it'll buy us some time.
Right, so,
You know.
I mean, those doors have been locked for a while, right?
Correct.
Right, so.
Right, but
And what about the bathroom?
but A3 and
Bathrooms we have to do, and that's on here.
A3 and A4, I thought the insurance company wanted us
Those
to
are
be able to lock.
the custodial
Or-
closets, the insurance company wants us to change.
and
That was, hang on.
And I thought the doors in the auditorium.
That's already ordered. The LGI room's already ordered.
Okay.
That one's already ordered. Custodial closets is $71.90, and that's for 4 custodial rooms.
All right. What was the total for all the doors?
43,580.
I thought you had that, because I had it up.
Yeah, I mean, because we had it last month. Sorry, I don't always have all my stuff
Have
from
a
one month to the
spreadsheet from
other.
Mark. April, excuse me.
All right. Well, if you have to order this 4 at $71.90, I mean, I guess that kind of fits in.
What
But
was the locks? That was a big number if memory serves.
well, that's the master key and hardware replacement, right?
Correct.
I mean, if I recall, the last meeting, everything total was almost $1 million.
Yeah, it was over
Right.
800,000.
Right, but,
Right.
but and that's the problem because we keep talking about this and the board as a whole isn't allocating funds. So I understand we have $500,000 or 650 and we can say we're just doing the roof, but if every year we keep going, well, we don't have the money,
No,
we're still never going to have the money.
I agree. I mean,
So
there's a couple things we think we have to do.
right. So what I kind of want to do is, if we real quick, what was the master key system and replacement cost? The total?
The original cost was $61,500.
Okay.
Now, part of that is the closets in the classrooms of the annex. All right, so every classroom has a closet or 2 closets in the annex. We would not have to do them necessarily to rekey the building for security reasons.
Okay.
All right.
That price gets us
That is,
all,
The whole high
no
school.
more of this like flipping
that's the whole high
locks
school.
and
No.
keys
Or
everywhere.
teachers
and
being in study halls and heaven forbid
can't
somebody
get into
comes through the front
rooms.
door, they can't lock the 3 doors.
You got
that go
locks
to the
from
room.
one school going into another, and no one keeps track of it.
This locks every classroom door to the hallway, then every door going to a hallway would be secure.
Okay.
And
And the
like,
closets.
and like
Bathroom.
organized so like you can,
Yep, we'll have a whole
you don't have to have
key
a
system.
map of
No.
what key opens
Cardboard
what.
box.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, can we skip down quick to what I'm trying to do is get a list of all the costs
Yep,
and
I got
then
you.
and then figure. So the bathrooms, do we want? Let's talk
Bathroom
about that.
partitions, I believe I gave you guys a proposal, it's $15,850. Those are installed. That is the boys and girls D wing, B wing, and F wing bathrooms. That is to replace the partitions that were installed in 1964.
Is it?
What about the plumbing?
Yeah, I was gonna
issues?
say, what about the plumbing?
I didn't get into that
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
The only one that I believe has plumbing issues is the one by the courtyard and the girls' bathroom by Drury Houses, is that B or D wing? I always forget.
B.
That's B wing. That is the one I'm told, there's plumbing that has failed in the wall, but there's 3 sinks. There's 3 sinks that are there. The left-hand sink works, but these next 2 don't. So I can't imagine it's the plumbing in the floor, it has to be the plumbing in the wall. Because if it was the plumbing in the floor, the left-hand sink wouldn't work as well.
Or somebody just took it out and just said, there's something wrong with the wall and I'm not going to replace it.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I haven't torn into it yet.
So when will you get into that?
I'm hoping to this week.
Is that the only plumbing issue?
That is the only one that is, from what I was told, had failed plumbing in the walls or in the floor. There's a sink missing in the boys' bathroom.
It's missing?
They
was
just didn't
removed.
replace it.
So when they
Yeah.
broke it, the kid, they just didn't replace it. They capped everything off. I don't believe there's any other ones that are missing sinks.
Some
Some are missing. They have to have rebuild faucets, which is a main maintenance issue.
So are those things that GCA staff can do?
Be rebuilding a faucet possibly, but not
Yes.
go into the wall and.
Oh, no, but like, doing the faucets, or
That would all be
even
stuff
putting the
that-
sink on.
Our
I
staff
could do
has
that,
done it in the
yeah.
past.
Well, I mean, I know you
I could do
but
it. I could do that.
I
So
can do it
if I
too,
can do
but
it,
I
they can do
don't-
it. Yeah.
But I don't know what they're
Our
under
staff
their
has done that.
contract
Yeah.
with. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The GCA agreement is for them to start doing more and more of the maintenance in house, right?
Right.
So to cut down, to reduce our spend on the outside contractors, to do more and more in house. That's why they hired everyone, all the maintenance people and everything too.
Okay. So a lot of that stuff, other than these partitions,
We could
and the plumbing
defer-
issue.
We could defer till after July 1, and it's not our expense, except for the parts.
Well, I don't even mean defer it, but there wouldn't be outside contractual
Well,
cost to it
just the-
necessarily.
Just the plumbing thing with the wall, if it's in the wall.
Right.
not on the wall.
So, okay, and
You
these,
said they had scoped it?
Back in the day, they had scoped it and said the pipe had separated in the wall. And there again, I have found a lot of things that I was
Wouldn't there be
told.
leaks?
It's like a concrete wall.
It's
Yeah,
a
but
block
you
wall.
think it's sealed up?
So it would have
They just, when they cap it off, you're
champagne
not gonna
glass
have.
down to the.
But if they cap it off, can they cap it off after the first sink?
The first and second, each sink goes in the wall and down, and then comes across on the floor to the main.
Yeah.
So, did the cross connect between these two on the side fail, or is it what's in the wall? That I don't know. Because again, I don't have a camera, so I need to bring
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
with a camera to scope it.
okay, all the in the service contracts, they're budgeted as normal.
On the list here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. good.
Okay.
Yes.
So I came up with the numbers we talked about and the 15,850, $809,420, which is $160,000 roughly over what we have budgeted, or what we have available with the 500 and the 150 transfer. So, I mean, I guess we could either look at putting off the card access upgrade, or trying to figure out if we
Does that include the cameras?
that doesn't include cameras. No.
So I thought that was one I thought we
Right.
felt pretty.
I don't
strongly
actually
about.
show that on here right now. Do we have the cameras on here?
Well,
No.
I would say the keys rank higher than the cameras
Yeah.
because if anything should happen, first and foremost, they need to be able to lock the rooms. If there's a single teacher in the study hall with
Oh, not the card access, you're talking about the locks.
The locks.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah, I
mean?
agree.
And at least if we get that done, that's one level of security, and then the next one would be the cameras, to where if something did happen, we could go back and find it on the cameras. But it's not good to not be able to have that unsafe feeling that none of the 3 doors in the LGIs lock, because they're the old red spline doors, and the locks have failed inside the door.
But that was also including the total of the 43,500 for all the doors. So if you only included the 7190 for the A3 to A4, you're looking at, no, that's not right, sorry. Plus 773,000. So you're 123,000 less or short. So I don't know. I mean, maybe you don't do all the doors, but you do the high school doors. Hold off on the car key. I don't know. Well, I think it's important to do some of these security issues. The key changes.
The locks.
The locks.
To me is like a must-have.
61.5, that's the number.
I don't know. How do you guys?
That was the master key and hardware replacement. I think you said.
61.5. And there again, there are some savings there.
That's the God I have, right?
I think everything we traded the rest of it.
Oh, that's true too.
I'm gonna open up that.
Possibly, yes.
We got rid of those trees that we had.
Well, this is what happens when you don't budget any money for facilities for 10 years.
But once again, though, we can't fix everything from 10 years in 1 year.
I
too.
understand that, but there's going to be more stuff. The problem is, it's not. I mean, there's more stuff coming up. That's what I don't understand. I mean,
Well,
The roof thing's not going away, man.
right,
There's other.
there's always going to be stuff coming up.
right.
What we need to look at is a long-term plan on when things are coming off warranty, things that need to be replaced in a timely manner, so that we're not sitting here looking at a roof, all the doors, all the cameras, all the locks, all the grounds. I mean, we may have structural issues coming down the line, and we'll have water damage from not fixing the roof on the floor. Yeah. So I would say, looking at a 3 to 5 year plan, this is how we're going to do these things. It's because if we're not flush with cash all of a sudden, we have to work within our budget. And if we only have $600 and some $1,000, we have to fix the roof because that impacted the athletic events. I mean, we moved stuff. I remember that. And then looking at the restrooms, quality of life, safety, health in the building, and then looking at, okay, doors, locks, cameras, because we're doing a build up on the technology side this summer and for next year with mats. And then the year after that, we're going more towards with computers. So maybe that's the time where we do the cameras and things like that, because we'll be up in the ceilings anyway doing things. But once again, I mean, if we don't have an extra $2 million,
I understand. I'm worried because for 2 years we've been looking at a facility study that showed we need $20 million or $10 million over the next 10 years or whatever, and we keep not putting any money away. And I know it's not your fault. I know it's not his fault, but it's frustrating for year after year to sit here and talk about the same things.
but I think a good step is putting money into the capital fund to do it, and then having a plan and looking at it and actually sticking to it. So the roof is where on the 5-year plan, the locks are where on the 5-year plan, the cameras are where. You know, we need to really build a model so that we're looking at it. So then Lauren puts money aside, says, okay, every year he goes, I got $500,000. This is what I can work
Sure, but
with.
we don't have five. We didn't budget for next
No.
year. So
You want to hear something else?
No.
Turf's going to be replaced.
Exactly right.
oh yeah, we've been talking about that for the
If
last
you're
3 years too. I know, but hey, we don't need to budget for this stuff. Sorry, I'm frustrated. Well,
So back to your
yeah.
point, so you got 129,000, and we said the locks are a must. Right?
That's just me.
And
I think we all agree with that.
something always happens. You can't spend everything because something
Right.
always happens, and we have to have some money in reserve if something goes wrong.
Well, that's what our fund balance was for.
Now, the one thing, and I think that was stuff piecemeal, but the one
Yeah.
thing we could do is do the annex. Re-key and re-hardware the annex, so at least we have keys for the classrooms, and only do the classroom doors of the hallways. I'd have to go through my list here, and go through.
Would some of this work fall under the Safe Schools grant?
The cameras.
The information you sent me, I think some of it would. I think there's some hardware issues. I think there's some hardware stuff in that Safe Schools grant, that brief description I read.
And that's up to what, 400,000? I think it was.
I don't remember the dollar amount, to be honest.
There's a Safe Schools grant that got released that we could apply to. We're going to meet next week on that. It covers school resource officers, training, programming, and also hardware to upgrade or to put into your school. Also covers a police officer if you want one. So that's something I've been talking about for a while, where one, we can get walkie-talkies, we could pay for half of the high school's security person, and we could do some upgrades, but we have to look at it and put together a proposal to get this grant.
I mean, the annex would probably be half of that cost for the keys to the annex, because the majority of the cost of the new part is just cores. There's not a lot of hardware issues in there, but there's almost 10 times the amount of cores, to replace. So it wouldn't be the end of the world. They're going to add another key into the system, but at least we can move that into the new key system, so then that's done, and we can do it in
That's it. That doesn't
pieces.
set us back. Like, that's not a waste if we then go to redo everything else.
Correct. It would be the first step of the rekey. That would be the necessity rekey in order to secure the school, the auditorium doors, and all that kind of stuff.
So if you,
I'd have to retally my entire list.
Right. No.
I'm trying to look at it real quick.
so if we did the roof and we did the custodial closet doors and we did the potentially half of the locks, you're looking at about 560. I mean, if you think it's about half, about $560,000. So that leaves 90,000 left in the fund. Oh, and wait, no, we have to do the bathrooms too. Sorry, that's a must.
15,000.
575 leaves you roughly 75,000.
It's a start.
You can always take out a tax anticipation note.
Unless you want to save another 46, not do the rest of it. I think you should do it, but I don't know.
Sometimes I think that's how we get into these messes, piecemeal and everything.
Just like
The doors.
If we're going to do the card access, it's better to do it district-wide, because then you get a vendor with a model number this year and a model number this year, then
Yep.
Yeah, the card access I would not recommend to do piecemeal. That's a one
Yeah, no,
project
no.
and done.
it's, maybe we just live with,
I don't
this is
know.
what we got this year.
Do you have any? I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on the roof? To me, I think you do it in one shot. I think this piecemealing things is how we kind of get ourselves into trouble.
The
But
cost is going to be more than what the deduct is, that's for sure.
right, well, I'm
Because
trying.
we already know that this 46 is really a little bit, it'll be less savings because they have to access the main roof through that roof.
Right, they're gonna-
So if they don't, then
you're
they're
gonna pay
gonna pay
more.
more for that. So really, I don't know what that savings.
They're going to be set there with the crane to crane everything up to the upper roof anyway, so it's not going to take much to access that lower roof. They're already going to have all the equipment mobilized.
I think we just look at do what we can. Do the blizzard locks on the bathroom and roof.
I said, and that'll take care of the insurance company's issues.
Yeah, if we do the custodial closets, that'll pacify the insurance company, because now we can lock the custodial closets. And then if we do the annex classrooms and the related rooms that need to be done to secure the classroom spaces and
That's district-wide, not just the high school.
what's that?
Is the lock issue only in the high school?
It's only nice. And I remember, we have custodial closets in there, we have storage closets in there that we have part of this, we would not do those, we would look at the annex classrooms only, you know, the necessities.
Anything that leads out to a hallway,
Correct.
so extra security.
And then with that, you're gonna get some of the classroom door knobs that still function, that we have keys for.
We may be
And
able
we
to
could
put
use
that
those on
in.
some of the closets that don't function anymore, that we don't
That we don't have a
keys
key for.
for. So, I mean, not everything's brand new, but at least everything functions, which is really,
You return the locks that belong to Birdsboro to Birdsboro, and the ones at Abbey that belong at Abbey.
The other,
Already
the other
done most of
schools
that.
don't have an issue?
No. No. The middle school interiors is a common key. There's an exterior master and there's an interior master.
So that full price was just to do the high school?
There's just the high school. And there again, it's
Big high school.
literally.
121 doors. It's roughly 121 doors. Sorry, 210 doors, 770 cords, and 63 cylinders to blank the cylinders.
When it comes to the annex, I have a box full of keys that I go in front of the door. Nope,
I know that.
nope, nope,
When you get the right one, you label it?
yes. And the new side is labeled, all the new stuff, BA, the number, so.
Here's the 14 pages worth of hand notes of all the doors. So, I mean, we literally went door by door.
If we don't do the card access, and you may not know the answer to this, but does that then take away our ability to monitor and tighten down the copiers?
Yes. Scott would have to purchase that part of it through the IT side. Through his side.
Well, because it doesn't have to be a card, you can enter a code.
Code, right.
Well, his actually getting Prox cards with his, so he would end up having to get it through his accounts.
But if you go, then later, if we want to do card access to the
It's gonna be a whole separate, yeah. We'll have to, I guess, talk
And
to
we'll
him.
talk to Scott. That's
All right. So I guess would we be looking at our recommendations would be the roof, the high school A3 and A4, doors, the bathrooms.
the custodial closets.
Oh, I'm sorry, not A3 and A4, just the custodial closets? Or is that A3, A4, and the custodial closets?
Well, A3 and A4 are 7,000 a piece,
Oh, a piece?
and the custodial closet is like 7,000. So you're looking 21 grand, 20.
Okay, so, all right, I was trying to figure out how, okay, gotcha. So just the custodial closets are $71.90. Because I was trying to figure out why it was
Custodial
$43.50.
closets are $71.90, and each pair of doors for A3 and A4 with movable mullions, hinges, closures, exit devices, the whole 9 yards is $7,060 each.
All right.
So it's 14,120, 21,310.
Okay, and we need those as well.
Correct.
Okay, so, all right. So, sorry, let me back up. The high school doors at 23,110,
21,310.
21,310.
That's A3, A4, and 4 custodial closets.
The bathrooms at 15,850, and the roof. Oh, and the keys. Wait,
Partial.
partial keys.
Annex only.
The Safe Schools grant will pay for all the hardware and material we need, so we have to go forward and get the grant.
Okay. And we could write the grant for everything, even if we only
Yeah.
approve so much this year, because we can come back and reapprove that. Okay. So 21,310, 15,850, 30,000, and the roof 520, 858, 588, and change. I mean $18, but.
Yeah, we need to start doing more things with grants. We find out too late or we're not proactive enough, we could offset, I mean, that would free up about $60,000 right there that he's saved.
So that will leave about 60,000 left for other things. Jeff, do you have any comments,
I
questions?
guess the only question I had was, is there anything else that we feel we have to have done that we haven't talked about?
I would think our biggest concern, outside of repairs, would be looking at the next 3 to 5 years and what things are upcoming so we can be prepared for them. If we're not prepared, it's going to be a shocker. Then we're going to be scrambling around trying to find funds for it, which we shouldn't operate that way. So we need to sit down 3 to 5 years, and have this meeting 4 or 5 months out. I keep saying here to everybody in the staff that we should be working 3 months out. That way we're not scrambling trying to do a special board meeting or have people call in. We need to be a little further out working. So I would say me, Lauren, and Casey sit down sometime this week and over the summer and put together a real, legitimate 3 to 5 year plan and some estimated cost to it.
And prioritizations?
Yeah. And turf. Turf is, we'll start talking more about turf. So how do we do the turf? Maybe we have to really
Bring it out there for, we've a couple of years he's been saying you're going to have to replace your turf.
We're a year out now, so let's see what we can do.
That's $1 million at least.
Well, we only have
Car wash.
500,000.
We'll do a car wash. Don't worry about it.
We'll do half
car
the
wash.
field. You could do
We'll
you
do
could
the
do
home side.
one end zone to the 50, or you could go sideline to side to the middle.
Our team doesn't get into the end zone enough anyway. They won't even notice the difference, really.
All right, so I guess,
Outside.
Mike, we were looking at our recommendations, the roof, the high school doors, and half the master key system, and then the bathrooms, and it gives us around $588,000. It'll give us about 60 left. So,
Gotta start somewhere.
do you want a quick touch on the, I mean, I don't know that any of us, I don't have any real issues with any of the annual service agreements. I don't know if anybody has any questions on those. I know I'm jumping around, but
These are just the renewals from
Right.
last year. Same renewals. Secure Home is our fire alarm monitoring service. So if we have a smoke detector go off, they're the people that make the phone calls to 911. They're the ones that get the phone call. JC Ehrlich is an integrated pest management proposal. They do a very good job for us. They're very responsive if we have any issues. I'm not looking to really make any changes there. We may tweak the proposal a little bit, but that's that. Water treatment by Clenzoid, that is water treatment for anti-corrosion of our heating and cooling systems, treatment of our cooling towers so they don't scale up, our boilers, so on and so forth. Elevator and chair inspection through Reading Elevator is per code. That is every quarter. It's $885 every quarter for a total of $3540 for the year. And just the facilities use is just a place taker for the karate here.
and that covers our costs. I mean, we don't have it. We don't really do anything for them, right? So,
No.
okay.
Fletcher Fire Protection Service Agreement, that is to do the operational inspection of the fire alarm where they actually test every strobe, every siren in every building. They do an operation test of the sprinkler system at the pumps or at the service that comes in. And then there is a visual inspection during the winter time, which is required by code. Literally, they come in and they walk the building, making sure all the smoke detectors are intact and all your sprinkler heads are intact. That's a code requirement. And then the train service agreement, that is maintenance of our building automation system for all buildings for the entire year, any upgrades, any tech support that we need, so on and so forth. We actually used less hours than what we budgeted last year, But there are some additional things I need them to do for this coming year when it comes to scheduling and stuff like that. So they're just gonna roll the surplus hours into this year. So we're more or less buying a bank of time is what we're doing.
Anyway,
If you
other
remember,
questions?
those contracts were about,
I was just say you pared
138,000.
a lot of these down last year, yeah.
So-
And I have to tell you, when I first opened the agenda on my phone and I saw the train, I thought it said 184,000, and I was like, what? Why are we back to? And then I realized I reread that wrong. So, but I was really upset for a second.
Also, if you want to talk to, there were some questions about some services that you responded to this morning.
yes.
You want to talk briefly on that? There were some questions about extermination and
Oh.
things like that.
Yeah, it was questioned. I can't exactly remember all the points exactly. The one was,
The high school.
the high school annex was listed twice. Due to the square footage, they bill the annex separately from the new part of the high school. The kitchens are billed separately, so on and so forth. The intent for that, from what I understood from before, was for billing reasons. With Sodexo running the food service, I don't know if that was allocated. I had that in my notes somewhere back when I first got here. But I have reached out to Airlix just to get some clarification on the costs. Because they have been treating the annex kitchen as a kitchen just because of all the equipment and everything that's stored in there. There's a lot of nooks and crannies for things just to hide. So it's not like a classroom where you have kids in and out and they're kind of in the perimeter. Things can be anywhere. So they're doing a more thorough treatment per se for an unoccupied space just because of all the stuff that is in there.
Yeah. And if the kitchen isn't treated, that sits, you'll have critters.
Yeah.
They'll just live in the equipment.
I will say they are pretty good. If we ever have a problem, I email Casey, and the early guy's usually there by the end of the day, before the end of the day, to take care of it.
I have a cell phone number. I shoot them a text. Hey, we have bees. Hey, we found ants. Or hey, we found this. And usually the pests are caused by staff bringing food into the classrooms and not cleaning up their stuff properly. Very rarely is it coming from the outside of the building, and
Right.
I mean, they come in from the outside, but their stuff is there because the ants are there because the stuff is there.
Right.
So they've treated for bees, they've treated for wasps outside of the contract. Our tech is phenomenal. I will tell you that. Joe is, as long as Joe's the technician for Airlix, we'll use Airlix because this guy is so responsive and he cares so much. The only thing that's not covered, there's a cockroach treatment for here, Oriental cockroaches, I think is what it was, correct, Jim, if I'm not mistaken, what they call it. It's for the crawl spaces. I guess there were cockroaches back in the day in here when the school was open. That is a treatment they do every year. That is scheduled for August before the school season starts, and before winter, before they migrate into those areas.
Yeah, the only other question was on, for you, was that the Ansel system for the kitchen.
Oh.
Is that,
Those are an individual inspection. Fletcher is not certified for the Ansel systems, and actually we just had Birdsboro's Ansel system checked Thursday.
okay.
And that I just covered that under my maintenance. I think it's $225 for every six month check. So I don't even worry about adding that to anything. That's just that's a maintenance cycle.
All right, we got maybe 10 minutes left. If I don't know if we want to try to cover anything under GCA or
Just-
staffing updates.
Just kind of just making everybody aware. Staffing updates. We had another couple retirements / resignations last week. I think there's 3 more staff members that are gone by the end of the month. I'll be working. I met with the custodians this morning, the 16 or so that were here today, to go over our summer cleaning plan. They have done an inventory of cleaning supplies in their buildings. So we're gonna go to those buildings that have the most cleaning supplies, and we're gonna go there and clean those buildings first to use up those supplies. Rather than trying to move a bulk of the supplies to every one of the buildings, we're gonna go to each building.
Okay.
You know, we're
Yeah, that
gonna
makes
try to,
sense.
we're gonna try to do crews.
Right.
And just because the sheer numbers we only have coming in every day, based on vacations and personal time and everything else, it's gonna be easier to manage it that way. So if you hear complaints from principals that they don't have a custodian in their building, there may be a time for a week or two, they may not. Just because they're at another place. But I will let that staff know, hey, if you have any issues, please contact me or give them a point of contact. The gym floors will be done. Both contractors are looking in July to do the gym floors. They're going to try to get some other schools knocked out of the way that they can get into early, only because we start later. We have a little more flexibility. They have some other summer programs that are coming in July and other school districts that they do. So they said, if you don't mind waiting until July, we'd like to get into your schools in July and take care of them. So that's a tentative game plan. GCA equipment discussion, just real quick. They've been asking for updates of equipment, from custodial equipment, the grounds equipment, and everything. So I believe, Lauren, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be making a proposal to us. Have they reached out to you?
Have you met with them on everything?
I haven't met with them everything. Their supervisor has been going to each building and looking at the equipment. So I've asked the custodial staff this morning to compile all of their equipment into a central location. The stuff that they're not using every day, burnishers, floor machines, all that kind of stuff, to get in one area. So when they come to the building, they don't have to try to go to 10 different custodial closets to find everything. So I'm not sure what they're going to propose on. They asked me earlier today, actually this afternoon, about hand tools. What hand tools in the buildings are ours or are they staff? And I said everything in toolboxes is school district property. We do not have an inventory list of that. It's just been acquired over time as stuff has been needed, from what I'm told. I have not bought any hand tools for the guys other than some cordless equipment. I emailed them if they'd like me to get an inventory list for them. I can.
I'll be honest, I think it might be a good idea to have an inventory list anyway. I mean, how are we gonna, what's our goal and how are we gonna make sure that this stuff
Is it better to
remains?
sell it or like release it to them?
Well,
On,
I wonder that myself, but even things like hand tools, I mean, if we don't know what we have, we don't know if they're leaving the building. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say it nicely, but
The good thing is the staff that is in the building, I do trust the staff that's there. Every time I've gone to one of those buildings and I've needed something in those toolboxes, it's always been in the same place. So I have no problem making an inventory list of those toolboxes. The good thing is there are just toolboxes in certain mechanical rooms. So we get a basic idea and just make a flat fee for them. Say, hey, this is worth $1,000 or $500 or whatever.
the only other issue is then if at some point we ever need equipment, we're gonna have to go out and
Their
rebuy everything.
their contract clearly spells out what they're going to provide in the form of tools and equipment. My position was, yeah, we need an inventory. Remove it and go move forward from there. Either they bring stuff in or we sell it to them, or at least.
Well, I almost feel like if they're bringing in their own stuff, we should be logging up our stuff.
That's right.
I also reached out to our neighbors next door, and they're interested in some of our vehicles. So
The
we need
township?
township, yeah. So
I was
we-
gonna say I might be interested in some of your vehicles too.
So we just have to get some information down for them, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because my list of vehicles is a year old.
Right.
well, we just bought them. I mean,
I have the insurance list.
okay, you get that to me. I'll take it over to them, and they can look at it. Charge double. I mean,
Well, usually what we do when we sell it to another municipality is we get a price on what we would get for a trade
Yeah.
or whatever, and then that's
Value.
what we sell it to them for if they want to buy it.
And then my other question is, They were looking at storing their grounds equipment at the middle school and the high school. Is that part of the agreement? Are we supposed to provide them with a storage facility? I don't
I
have
will-
that, I didn't read it that closely.
I will check what that verbiage is.
Because if we need to provide them with a storage facility, we need a place to store stuff as well.
Because there was, at the time of the submittal of the response, there was a question, are we providing garage space? I'll check.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't meet in July. We get the month off. so-
I do have one other question.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Upcoming meetings, GCA present or not present?
I mean, I'll be meeting with them all the time, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know everybody's thoughts. I think at least probably once a quarter they should be here, if not every month. I mean, I don't know if we necessarily need them or want them here every month. I don't know what your thoughts are. But I think they should probably at least once a quarter be here.
If we want, I mean, I'm saying if they're going to be in the buildings, we're paying them.
Right.
They have their rep. I mean, they have their Casey there. You know, we can ask
Why
direct.
couldn't that be first?
I think in the beginning.
Right. Well, that's what
Right,
I
I'm
mean.
thinking to start out because if we
Yeah, I
have
think
issues, we.
monthly starting out, because that seemed to be the MO with people, at least quicker down. The beginning was the painful period. That would be the time to put hard questions. Get those answers.
So yeah, if we could maybe at least in the beginning have them here monthly, and maybe then we can drop down the quarterly or something. But
Meetings start getting a little dicey.
so our next meeting would be Monday, August 8th, right?
That's my mommy's birthday.
Oh, and you'll have to be here
I have an excuse.
at 6 o'clock, and I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about since it'll be 2 months. Anybody else have anything quick?
Well, I guess, my question is, for the summer work, with all the people you're down already,
Well, GCA starts July 1st, right? So he only
Right.
has 3 more weeks. That'd be their responsibility, right?
Yeah.
They have to get the work done whether they have people or not, right?
Yes.
They have to get the work done, so, and I informed them when we met with them the other day that I'm scheduled until July 1. We'll have certain areas done, so the teachers' moves can happen and all that stuff can happen. So we're gonna try to work our schedule according to what teachers are moving from where to where.
Right, because you're going to have the issue of
And then
the
then I'll
classrooms
have to
moving
hand over to
from.
them saying, hey, here's who's moved and here's who's not moved.
Right, from the you mean the
From Monocacy
elementaries,
and Birdsburg,
yeah.
And then all the internal moves at ADC as well. And there's a couple moves at the high school, I believe, press the center, small amount.
Oh, teacher,
Yeah.
Is there any comments or questions from the public? Okay, meeting adjourned.
Get the hammer thing.
Oh.